So in this course, we have a couple of goals. Our first goal is to introduce the methods considered data mining and predictive modeling. Our second goal is to explore what it means for a data set to be complex. The background required for this course is mathematical maturity. I'll assume that you know calculus and linear algebra, and all the other math will develop in-house. However, we'll be using calculus and linear algebra in very mature ways. So you see a sample calculus problem here, finding a global minimum. The linear algebra problem, in fact, is not a vector space. The other thing that we'll need is willingness to work with a computer. We're not going to be writing programs per se. What we are going to be doing is looking at notebooks that already contain programs, and there'll be documentation of how to use those programs within those notebooks. These are going to be in the computer language Python. During the first 2 weeks, we'll learn the basics of Python and PyLab. We'll be modifying Python programs that I'll be handing out through the semester. Each week, we're going to have a specific theme. There'll be a folder for that week, and the title will be given for that. There'll be 3 or 4 short videos, some lecture notes, and some readings, and also an associated IPython notebook. There'll also be additional support materials on the course site. Most importantly, to get started, set up an account at www.wakari.io. So you'll have to create an account, but once you've created an account, then you'll simply be logging in. So I'll put my login information here and log in. And this is the Wakari Python environment. You can see there's a set of tabs. There are some things up top. There's a file browser over on the far left. We just hit it. Let's bring it back. The file browser has all your files, and it has pretty standard options for working with files. So we won't dwell on these. It's pretty straightforward what you do with these things. There's also a menu inside the notebooks. So there are file operations and edit operations and view, insert, cell operations. We'll look at a couple of those in a minute. The kernel operations, and also shortcuts. The shortcuts are a pretty nice addition. If you want to execute some Python code, you can run it from the cell menu, and it produces an output. So notice you've got a cell marked by N, and it produces an output. The shortcut for this is what's called Shift-Enter. If you hold the Shift key down and press Enter, then it will execute the cell. And notice that before a cell is executed, it's got an empty space in the brackets, but after it's executed, it tells you that it's already run. Now let's close the file browser, and let's look at the notebook gallery. These are free notebooks that you can use in addition to the things I give you in the course. So you might want to start looking at this one, Introduction to Python Programming. We can clone it inside of our notebook environment. And once we do that, you'll see that, well, first let's get rid of the files that's over there. So you'll see that a lot of the output is already there. Let's get rid of it. So we hit clear, and the output is now gone. But I would suggest going down to where it says Import Math and start the tutorial there. We won't need the things above, and this will be an easier way to get started. There are additional tutorial materials on Python in the Supporting Materials folder in the D2L website. There are several online tutorials. I highly recommend learnpython.org. There's also a notebook that you can download to actually be a tutorial inside Wakari. To do so, you download, you extract the file from the zip, and the file is a IPython notebook file. To upload to Wakari, you simply click on the Upload tab. Then you can drag and drop, after which you push the Upload Files. You can also select and upload it. Once you've done that, you double-click on the name, and that loads the notebook. You can close the file browser. And now you're ready to get started. Shift-Enter will produce an output in an input cell. And if you go to another input cell, Shift-Enter will produce information again.